Okay, so to start, I use the Glow recipe. This is what I use. I use the little line, it's like the mini ones. You can get it on my Amazon storefront. I have it linked. There are two different sets. There's like the Fruit Baby ones, and then there's the one that's more expensive. I prefer the one that is more expensive. I really do think you get a lot for your money. It lasts me. But yeah, so I just put this all over my face and I let it soak in. I don't use my fan that I have. I don't use that because I want it to soak in. We don't want it just to like dry on top, if that makes sense. And then I will move on to the under eye cream, the avocado under eye cream. And it's important that you get it, I get it in the corners, and then I take it all the way down to here. A lot of people just put it up here, but I notice that I get really dry in here and I start to show texture. Like, everyone has fine lines underneath their eye. There's nothing you can do about those really. But here is where like you kind of get like that desert looking skin, if that. Now moving on to the niacinamide dewdrops. They're watermelon dewdrops. These are have gone viral before. So I just put that all over my face. And sorry if I'm looking, mine's almost gone actually. Sorry if I'm looking up, I'm looking at the mirror. Like I said, I am not a beauty YouTuber. You guys just ask this all the time, so I figured I would make a video. And of course I choose the day to make the video when I don't have nails on and I just look like a mess. So yeah, I put this on, and there is an order that you put these products on, the order that I'm doing them in. It does tell you on the box what order to do. So yeah, I just put the dewdrops on next, especially in areas where you're dry. Okay, and next I will be using the Plum Plump Hyaluronic Cream. I guess it's up here. It's hard for me to figure this out. I need to get like an actual filming camera and not just my phone. So I put a lot of this on and really rub it into the skin. I promise, skin prep makes such a difference, because makeup never is going to look good on like dry skin. Just doesn't. It'll just start like picking up in different areas. Also making sure that you're exfoliating sometime throughout the week. I personally love this from The Ordinary. It's like the one, it's the AHA and BHA 2%. It's the one that looks like blood. It's the red one. Yeah, I highly recommend doing that at least once a week. It just helps your skin not be dull, and any makeup that you're putting on, it'll help it lay real pretty. Don't forget your neck. And then I just wait like a couple seconds until it's like drying. In that time that I'm usually waiting for my face to dry, underneath my eyes usually has dried by now. And I do use a color corrector. This is just one by LA Colors. I think I got it at, I don't know, maybe CVS or something. You can get this anywhere. It's just the orange one. Just make sure you get one that has enough pigment. And I just put it in like this inner area. And depending on the day, sometimes my eyelids look a little bit darker and sometimes they don't. Sometimes I'll bring it on my eyelids. So while I wait for that to dry, because you definitely want to wait for your color corrector to dry or it's just going to move around and it's not going to stay where you want it. If it's going to be a long day of me wearing, I've been using this again. This is by It's Cosmetics. It's the Your Skin But Better. It's the oil-free makeup gripping base plus pore refiner and hydrator. This is one of the only primers I've ever used that I think has not like done something to my skin, like make me break out. This is made with dermatologists, so it's not going to screw your skin up. It's a little on the expensive side, but you know, it lasts me a long time, and I think if something actually works, it's worth it, you know. But if I'm going to be, like, I need to go to a soccer game tonight. I just have a really full day today, so I'm going to be on live, just probably working outside a little bit, so it helps to have a primer. And all of the Glow recipe stuff works very well underneath makeup and primers, which is great. This part you can use because we want a primer to sit on top of the skin, kind of creates a barrier between your skin and your makeup. And we want that orange color corrector to dry too. So just get you one of these at the Dollar Tree. $1.25 tree. Okay, so next I'm going to be doing some foundation-ish. This is a CoverGirl Outlast Extreme Wear Light Airbrush Finish. It does have an SPF 18 in it. I mixed this with this tinted hyaluronic acid serum. This is made by L'Oreal, True Match Nude. So I just mixed the two because I don't like such a heavy foundation. I really just only use this because when I sunless tan myself, my body ends up being a lot darker than my face. But just like a full-on foundation is just too heavy for me personally, so I really like to mix in a lot of the hyaluronic tinted acid serum. It just makes it feel a lot lighter and not so like makeup-y, if that makes sense. I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? But mine's almost gone, so I'm going to need to find a brush down in there and get me some. So yeah, I just go like this, and then I just kind of mix it on my face right here. Once it's mixed, I just kind of grab some. And this is a damp beauty blender. I highly recommend having your beauty blender always damp because it just makes everything look better. I don't know. And it makes it not so, I think, heavy looking too. And don't ever forget to go underneath. Get close to your ears. Close to your hairline as you can. It's difficult when you have blonde hair like I do. It's just unavoidable. Sometimes you just get it in your hair. Pump, and then the little bit of hyaluronic acid that I mix in covers most of my face. I do have to go back in and always add a little bit more just to cover this area on my eyes. I haven't been doing too much as far as like concealer lately. Just seems like it always sets. Then I just got a little bit more on, and it's gonna do my eye area and under eye. Yeah, but like lately it just seems like whenever I have been using concealers underneath my eyes, I just don't like it. It just, I don't know. They just don't work for me like they used to. So I just been using this, and sometimes I'll go in with a concealer just a little bit on like the inner area, but I don't know. It was just creasing really bad for me, and this is just easier, honestly. Like I said, sometimes I will go in and add like a little bit, but just not like, I don't do a full-on conceal moment. So yeah, just keep blending. Blend, 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 blend. Take it down that neck. We don't want masks. Especially if you sunless tan like me, you need to match up your face with the rest of your body. Okay, next we are going to do a cream contour. This one is from Wet n Wild, their Mega Glow contour stick in Where's Walnut. I mean, this isn't the worst thing in the world, but it does not blend that well. I mean, it will, but that's another reason why I recommend, I'm just using the same exact spot that where I use my foundation on the beauty blender. That's why I recommend you using a damp beauty blender, because it makes it easier. It's just like it's not terrible. You just have to work quick. So I just go there. Since my nose dips down, it hangs down, I don't like that. So I'm going to contour here underneath so this gets shadowed and there's no light brought to it. I just blend that out. I just go right here. And then I'll just take 2 lines straight down my nose. Just use the same spot in my beauty blender. I kind of do like a reverse contour, so it doesn't really matter where you put it. Sometimes I'll go a little bit up here. Okay, so then we're still working in our cream area. We're still like kind of a little bit damp. This is just a liquid blush. This is one of the ones from She Glam. It's like a Rare Beauty knockoff. You can get them on Amazon too. I'll try and tag the one on Amazon. So I just put 2 dots and then I just kind of disperse it. Just depends on how much blush you like. Like if you like a dramatic look, definitely blush is definitely in right now, which I love because I just love the look of a pinky blush. But this is the color Rose Ritual. I'll take whatever's left over on the blush and go across my nose. If you guys can see that. Just add a little bit more. Okay. So yeah, then we do that. So my face is basically done at this point. Now I move on to my eyebrows. So I will take a little bit of setting powder. This is the Hydra Perfect L'Oreal. This is a decent drugstore setting powder. It's made for people who don't who have like drier skin, which is nice because I always queen of dry skin. So now I will just go through and set my entire eyebrow area with a little powder, just because it makes it easier. You don't want it like all slick Rick, if that makes sense. You want like a nice surface to be able to use your pencil. So then I'll take a little bit more of the powder and I'll just go like around my lips, because we know we're going to use lip liner a little bit. Sometimes I'll set just a little bit right here where I have some pores, but I try not to set too much just because of the fact that I do have drier skin. So just use whatever eyebrow pencil you feel comfortable with. I don't like this one at all. I was at a store and they didn't have much to choose from and I really needed a brow pencil. So this is just one of the cheap e.l.f. ones, Instant Lift Brow Pencil. I don't even know if it has the color on it. I don't think it does. It's just a brown one. So I just start where I want my brow to begin, and I'm missing a lot of brow here, so I just fill that in. Go straight up to where I know it's gonna be the arch, and then where I'm gonna have the arch, and I'll draw like how high the arch is gonna be. So we did down here, and then we filled in where the arch is gonna be, and then basically we just connect everything. So draw that out to where I want it to be. I try and draw more out than like down, because that's just gonna draw your face down, if that makes sense. And then we will come back in with like a nice fill in, then we'll come back in with a powder for like darkening certain areas. So you just keep connecting and filling in, and then just take because it softens it a little bit. And then towards the front, just kind of very lightly. So you don't want the front to look like super harsh. We'll be drawing on hair strokes too. So I just keep messing with it until it's like the shape that I like. Same thing over here. I'm just gonna brush them all up. My eyebrows like do not stay up, like they're just have minds of their own. And I used to have beautiful eyebrows and I got rid of them. So again, we're gonna start where we want it to start. Fill in that area there to where the underside of the arch is gonna be. Then we're gonna come up like here, map out our arch, get your arch the way that you want it. Don't worry about the front yet. And then we're just gonna kind of connect everything, drawing out versus down. So we're taking it out, we're extending the eye. We're not drawing it and dragging it down, we're extending it. Especially if you plan to do any sort of like a cat eye or anything like that, a winged liner. You definitely don't want like your winged liner going up and like meeting your eyebrow that you brought completely down. So yeah, you just keep filling. I keep messing with it until I get it the way that I like it. And then we'll start working at the front. I just kind of start thickening this part a little bit so that it matches up nicely with the arch that we made. So it kind of just feeds into it. Brows naturally kind of get like a little bit smaller towards we go this way. So I'll just like kind of very, 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 very lightly just start feathering it in. So it's just very light, but there is like a back. I guess what I'm trying to get at is like, you just want like a background color here. Just like a very sheer background color for us to draw our hair strokes on. Because I don't have any hair here or here. So we need to draw hair strokes. So it looks like it's real. So just very light. You want it to look as natural as we can make it, which is not easy when you don't have hair right there. I unfortunately, when I was younger, it was really the style to have like pencils, tiny little thin eyebrows. No, I blame Christina Aguilera. That was a trend that did not need to come back ever. So now I use a brow powder. This one is from Morphe. It is Cold Brew, and I'm going to be using two different brushes. An eyebrow brush, your typical eyebrow angled brush, and then this is a nail art brush. A nail art brush. So with this brush, I'm just going to go in and just get like the under areas where like we really had to fill in, just darken that up a little bit since there is no actual hair there. And then I just kind of like disperse it up to blend it in. So I don't want this whole thing to be super harsh, just areas where there is not any hair that I really filled in. I just want that part a little bit darker so you can't tell that there's no hair there, if that makes sense. And then the darkest part of your eyebrow should always be the tail end. So we're going to completely fill that end in with the brow powder. Okay, now we're going to be using the nail art brush. You see, you're always going to want to keep like a little paper towel next to you. So I'm just going to get a little bit of the color in. And then I'm just going to start here and I'm just going to draw up, 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 just drawing little hair marks. And you got to dip in quite frequently. So the more we go back, the longer they're going to get, and then towards the front, they're going to get a little bit shorter, like a natural eyebrow. And then squeeze so the brush gets compact again. It's like the key with doing eyebrows is squeezing your brush, because the brush will start to like fan out and then it won't be as precise looking. So we want little tiny hair strokes. I don't know if you guys can see that. If you get too dark down here at the base, you just take your other brush and just kind of blend them in with a soft hand, and those little dots will go away where it was just like a little too dark. Well, same thing with that little brush. I'm just going to squeeze it so it gets nice and compact. Pick up some color on it and just do, if you can't see it, little hair strokes. And if you make them too high, like I just did, because I was trying to show you guys, so you always just keep a little concealer brush. You should always have a concealer brush if you're doing your eyebrows, because sometimes things just get out of place and you can just kind of snatch them up a little bit. So yeah, that's basically all I do for my brows. It's not perfect. It's very inconvenient. I don't like doing it. It's my least favorite part of doing my makeup. If I didn't have to do brows, I would not mind doing my makeup at all. It drives me nuts. Before I said I don't really use any concealer anymore until I find one that I like, but I do sometimes put, so I'll just put a little bit right here, because if you can see, there's still a little bit of that orangey color in the tear ducts, and I do like to lighten this area, so I'll just kind of go like that, and then just take my brush and just cover up any areas if that orange is showing, and it just always looks way better if you know, the inner area is brightened up anyways. So I don't want it to be brought out too far anywhere, because I just kind of want it to stay in this area, because I don't want it to get on my fine lines, because those are the issues. This is the one from e.l.f. It's not the hydrating one. It's just the regular camo one, which I do like their hydrating one, but I'm not a fan of this one. So that is especially why I will not be bringing it down any further into any other areas. And then I'm just going to blend it in. Okay, I'm going to be using the P. Louise Bridal palette. This is like now the only palette that I own. I just wanted one palette that I could easily keep that had like everything that I want in it. I'm just going to do a big fluffy brush. I got this in an Ipsy bag like 10 years ago. I don't know. I do wash it frequently, and just like I would say a color that's close to your skin tone, maybe one shade a little bit darker. Right here, I'm just going to go straight across as a transition color. Always focusing on going up, not down. So when you get to the end, flare it up. Flare it up. Up, 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 up. You can already see the difference from there to there. That's a very light color. So again, we'll start here. In and up. And it's like windshield wipers. Just blend, blend, blend. I bring it up pretty high too, close to my eyebrow. So we have like all the space to work in. Next, I'm going to take another fluffy brush, but a slightly smaller one. And I'm going to be going into like a warm medium brown. I'll show these colors. And I'm just going to go a little bit at the end, kind of in the crease area, a little bit under where the highest part of that other brown is that we just put that transition color, and just kind of bring it in. And once again, up. Kind of into the crease too. So we're basically just like gradiating it. So light, a little bit darker. I only dipped that one time, not real hard. You can see I'm just going back and forth and kind of just up in this B area. Bring it in on the kind of the little end of the lid. Blend, 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 blend. I'm convinced when people say that they can't do eyeshadow, it's just I always think people are probably using the wrong brush or just not using the brush enough. So it's just with if it was just a day-to-day and I wasn't going on live, I would probably just put like a creamy color right there and be done with it. But since you guys asked for a couple specific looks a lot, we're gonna go there. Okay, so you can see already that looks so good. It was super easy. Now we're gonna go and get those colors that you guys usually like. We are going to be using the NYX Glitter Glue. I think I have this on my Amazon storefront. And just a flat brush. You can see I use this brush all the time. And we're just going to be using, this is a look that I did the other day. It was like a rust color kind of on my lid that you guys really liked. So I'm just going to take some of the glitter glue and just lay it as a base. So cover the whole lid wherever you're going to want your color to go. It just really makes it show up a lot more vibrant. You don't have any fallout of any shimmer either. Okay, so I'm just going to get that rust color. It's called Connection. And just pat it onto where we put the glitter glue. I'm just going to take a pencil brush like this with bristles and just dip into any of those any darker color that you want, and I just shade underneath here. I just think it looks more natural than doing like water-lined eyeliner. So now we'll move on to my eyeliner that I always do. So I love this Black Magic by, what is this brand called? Liquid Eyeliner. It starts with an E. I don't know, this is what it looks like. I have it on my Amazon storefront. But it's just, it's not a felt tip. It's not a felt tip, it's actually a brush. But it looks like a felt tip. So that's why I do not like felt tips. I cannot do winged eyeliner. So I just draw my line up close to the tail of it, leave like a little bit, and then draw in. And I usually just leave it unfilled for a minute, and then I just go to do this side. Because if I leave too much time in between sides, I find that I have a harder time linking them up. So I just straight line out almost to the end, bring her back in. Okay, and as you can see, I just go really close, just barely over like the lash line, very thin, and then all the way to about like here, and then I start to thicken it up a little bit, just because we don't want to steal any of that lash space. Next, I do use a pencil eyeliner. This is the LA Girl. I really do like this one. So I just go in and don't ever forget to do your upper waterline because it makes a difference. And then I just, at the end here, connect it with that. So I see there at the corner where the black is, I connect, not in my waterline, out of my waterline, and just go about that much. And then get an angled brush that you use just for this. And I just pull it in just for a little added depth. And make it look real soft. It just kind of makes your eyes look a little bit bigger too. Not to draw it in the inner waterline though. Really soften it like that. I really need to get better at filming this. I'm gonna do the other eye and then I'll be back. Okay, so this part is optional. I'm just gonna use this light pink blush. This one I just saw actually from Wet n Wild, and I thought it was really pretty. It's called Pinch Me Pink. I'm just gonna add a little bit more, just because I am going live soon and cameras do not like to pick up everything. Then I will go through and take my little concealer brush, get a little bit of that lighter colored concealer from e.l.f. that we talked about, put it on the brush, and then how I said I do a reverse contour of my nose, I will just take it and do a straight line to there, skip, and then a dot where I want my tip of my nose to be. And then blend it out. Lastly, before we spray our face, I'm going to take this highlighter from Makeup Revolution. This is in Set the Tone, just a white one. Always down the center of my nose, on the tip, Cupid's bow, inner corners, cheekbone, sometimes I'll even do like a little bit up here. And that's that. We're gonna get our fan and our setting spray. This is just the Morphe Luminous setting spray. I need like a hydrating one always, so I'll just spray. I'll just spray before we do. I do a good spray. And then I do it before I do my mascara because it can make your mascara bleed when you spray. But this is one that you can use the fan for. Turn it around so you can see the pretty side. But yeah, $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. Moving on. I'm a L'Oreal telescopic fan for life. This is Carbon Black. I think it's the best drugstore one that you can get. Sometimes I curl, sometimes I don't. Just depends. If I do, always curl your ends first and then come in further, so it's like a double curl. And if you have really straight lashes that refuse, and you see that after you curl them, they go straight again, after you put the mascara on, use a waterproof, and that won't happen. I don't know why that is, but it just works. I think today I'm going to add just a little half lash to the end. If you guys want a tutorial on that, you can let me know. I know most of you know how to put eyelashes on, but I know a lot of people don't too. So we're just going to go on to lips because you guys always have so many questions about my lips. Okay, so this is my most asked question. So we're going to be using the LA Girl. I got this at CVS. This is Sugar and Spice. This is the color. A lot of places make a lot of colors similar. I do have some linked on my Amazon storefront. You just want to make sure that it's going to be sharp before you start. Don't ever do eyeliner without it being sharp, or lip liner without it being sharp. Okay, so I'm just going to connect through the top of this vermilion line, Cupid's bow, and this one, you're just going to go straight across. It automatically gives the vision of a fuller lip, and then fill that in. Okay, now connect. You're going to overlining just slightly to match up with the top of this one. Just slightly and only in this section. See? And then we're going to bring it back down and meet your... So you got to brought it right back down to our normal lip line. See how much fuller this side looks? We're going to do the same thing over here. Overlining slightly just to match up with the top of that one, and then bringing it back down to meet our normal lip line. So on the bottom, but in the middle we're going to just overline just a little bit, the tiniest bit, right here. Okay, and then you're just going to connect it back to your normal lip line. And connect. In my other tutorial, if you watch it on my TikTok, I just fill in and then I'm done, basically. now I've been doing it a little bit different since I've been on live, just because I need the camera to pick up more. So I've been using this Pillow Talk. This is actually an eyeliner from Charlotte Tilbury. You can use any like darker brown maroony color. Anything will work. So I get it really sharp, and then I just line at the topmost point that where we overlined, right here, and then just right here. So I'll show you. So just right here. See how it's just in the very, very top of that area. Just to darken it a little bit. And then underneath, just the very outermost part where we overlined. So it should be, in other words, darkish and then light working in. And I only do it right there. Okay. If it's too harsh, take your other lip liner and just blend it in. Blend the ends in. So if you don't want to go any further, just fill in your edges into the middle then this next step I'm going to do with the first lip liner we used. I'm going to be using, just because it's quicker and I don't use up as much lip liner, since I do this every day when I go live, this is Maybelline, and I think the color came off. Dang it. I think I already have it linked on my Amazon storefront. So I just, because it's just like a big crayon basically, I color in only that far. And we leave that blank. Anytime in makeup, this is just a little tip, when you can do a gradient effect, it's going to make things look fuller. And it's going to make it look like you did more when you really didn't. This might seem like a lot, but for me, this goes really quick. Then we're going to take Nude Lust by Maybelline. I think I have this linked too. Any nude lipstick will do. It does not need to be the same colors that I'm using the same brand. And then I'm just going to do this. I always do this just because it makes your lips look fuller. If it's lighter in the middle, it automatically, wish I had better lighting, makes your lips look fuller. And then when you go like that, if you lose a little bit of that there, because we don't want it to make it look like we went straight across there, I just darken it up with that darker color. And then only other thing that I do is I just use a lip gloss. I usually use the Maybelline Lifters or the Queen Cosmetics Sparkly Glosses. I'm out of both right now. The Maybelline is linked on my Amazon storefront. So right now I'm using Queen Cosmetics Her Plump It Up line. This is in the color Glazed. And yeah, this is definitely a plumper. It's like yesterday, I haven't used this in forever. And in the middle of the live, I needed to reapply lip gloss. And so I put this on. She's like cooling. It's not like a cinnamony feeling. It's like a cooling feeling. So yeah, I mean, that's really all that I do. I mean, I feel like it kind of seemed like a lot, but when I'm not recording, it takes me not very long at all. Once you get like the longest part that takes me is my eyebrows. And I still am never happy with them. They just take forever. I hate them. I don't know. I hope that was helpful, guys. And I will see you on Crystal ASMR live soon. Bye.